Coming up on the round 23 of the Sunday Roast, the Swans have locked up top spot, the Blues are back in the 8, and a Hawthorn, the greatest team of all time, Das.
Jev, they're pretty good. Jev, as always, the Sunday Roast, we celebrate the winners, absolutely roast the losers, and we preview what will be arguably the greatest round of football coming up next week of all time. Everything to play for, memberships in the microwaves for the teams that don't make it. It's going to be unbelievable. This week's roast was another ripper, Jev.
We also talk about the hot chips we're going to eat this week on the pod. Oh, no.
And the gummy you have to eat.
Oh, no, we're in trouble. Brisbane, Collingwood, far out. Oh, it's a good app. Give it a listen. Like, subscribe on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. Send it to a mate. Leave a comment. Get around us. We absolutely love you guys. See you later.
Come on.
Enjoy the show.
Bye.
Welcome back to the Sunday Roast, the show that celebrates the winners and roasts the losers, the show that gives you all the best odds of the bets you weren't on but wish you were, the show that's only got 2 shows left in the regular season. This is the round 23 edition of the Sunday Roast. Joining me as always, Darcy Bella. Dope, how are you, my guy?
I'm good, Jev. I was absolutely dacking myself before this game, but the Blues had a big win. This is microwaves in the memberships week, Jev. Memberships in the microwave. I said that the other way around. When your team's pissed off, if they're getting done, it's in the microwave, press start, and then we get ready to roll for next year. But there were some big games. There were some big upsets. If anyone tells me that they know who's winning, you're a fucking liar. I sat down on the couch, the old man, watched Brisbane and the Pies. He's like, the Brisbane are absolute locks. They don't lose. I said, you never know. Watch the Pies. They might come back. They did. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'll double down. He's like, I guarantee that the Cats will win. I guarantee. They just go, I said, you don't know that. And then the Saints end up winning. So if you reckon you know who's going to win, you don't. Like, anything can honestly happen with the last few rounds. That's why the finals are going to be so exciting. Teams just trying to do whatever they can not to make it in the 8, and other teams just trying to do whatever they can to make it. It was a great round of footy, Jev. There will be some massive odds in this pod that we're going to go through. There were some huge performances from some individuals.
It's been a nuts round of footy, and there's a couple of games of teams that aren't relevant, and I just want to ask some questions of what they're doing next year, and we'll have a look at next week, round 24 for sure, and the times games are playing and what each game means. But let's go back to Friday night, all the way back to Friday night. The Showtime Swans come to town for the last time until the one day. They get the job done by 39 points. They were just too good for the Bombers. Das, talk to me.
Yeah, so Nick Martin did the freezing celebration with Redmond because that's how cold they were, Jev. It was freezing there in the igloo. The first half, so they obviously had a crack, didn't they? Like you were there, you'll obviously touch on what you saw, and I'm interested to see what you say when you're sitting there watching from you're leaning against the back wall, weren't you?
I was right at the back of level 3.
Surprised you that much of a nuffy that someone can't get you like a ticket just a little bit closer, just a little bit.
That's got to be one of our 100K goals to just have better tickets one day.
Yeah. Well, they definitely had a crack and they definitely missed opportunities. What they have, I think 20 inside 50s in the first quarter and just couldn't capitalise, only the 3 goals. Same thing. They really started to push in the second quarter and then you guys just went on top, 6 goals in the third quarter, and that was game over. They look like that they just lacked just any intensity. There's just like it looks like there's no on-field leadership apart from Merritt. And then when he's getting tagged and he can't get into the game, other guys just get fumbling, can't go forward. Like Draper had a pretty good week the last couple of weeks, only had the 11 touches, 1 goal, 1. Durham only 16. I can say, though, I think Caldwell's had a really good last month. I reckon he's been so much of a better player. He's getting his hands on it a lot more. They've been a lot better when Parrish is back in the side. And I really do like that Archie Roberts, who had 25 to spell. I think it was his 3rd game. I think he'll be good for them, but I know that they're trying to make fun, but I just think they're so far off it. Like when you go out and go get Ben Mackay to improve your back line, and I think they're going to finish worse than last year. Like, you've been a worse defensive side and you've gone out and tried to get the best defender as a free agent or like as a draft pick. So you're trying to get him in and they're worse defensively. So I don't know about that. And I just can't believe that they didn't give Dyson Heppel a send-off game. You can't tell me that he would not have had a better impact or had more of a crack than maybe like, I don't know, a Hobbs, Who else? A Kelly,
Jay
a John
Kelly,
Menzies.
100%.
Like you can't
Sam
tell me
Wiedemann.
someone. Yeah, that's fuck. What this is his first game for the year, wasn't it?
First game for the year, and they've left Heppel out.
So for his last game, you can't tell me that someone's not going to leave it all out there, and your team's going to try and rally behind you. I just think that's as a club, like Geelong would never do that.
Yeah. So just being there, as I said, I was top level 3 behind the goals, just looking down on the ground. And I did not think the Swans were like absolute lock it in stone certainties because I'm like, Essendon have to be desperate. Like they're still alive to play finals. They need to be playing with desperation. And then them not picking Heppel. So we spoke to our Bomber supporters, mates. It was a bit of, this is good. It sends a message. The club's going to be ruthless. It doesn't matter if you're a 300 game player or a first game player. If you're in the best 22, you're in the best 22. But then just watching them just not be desperate for a win to get this club to finals. And they were just so average. And I'll talk about the Swans in a sec. But like, it must be impossible being a Bomber supporter. So first half, they were good. They just couldn't kick a goal. They needed, Collingwood, they just kick arsey goals all the time, but because it's Collingwood, they actually aren't arsey. It's obviously what they do. They get dirty inside 50s and they turn them into goals, Collingwood, and you just have to expect it. Essendon just looked like if it didn't get like marked inside 50, they just couldn't generate any goals. They're begging for a small forward. But watching it, like as a Swan supporter, I just thought it was like, what your local footy club does, pre-season, you're playing a club from another league, and you might play 6 quarters against this country club. Yeah. First 3 quarters, the twos play. The last 3 quarters, the seniors play. Yeah. No joke. It looked like the first half of the game was the Swans twos playing, and we just held the ship, and they were all trying and stuff. And then the second half, the seniors came out. Just from where I was watching, the speed they started playing at, the intensity, the tackling pressure, just everything just lifted a notch. And Isaac Heaney just said, nah, let's just get this done, boys. We'll only have to play a half to beat the Bombers. They are so sorry for themselves. He just got it done. It was honestly amazing to watch from as I said, the top of level 3. I saw 2 different teams, 2 different speeds, the way they started tackling and going forward and just not letting them have easy kicks. Yeah, it was just good to see. The Swans had to win one of their last 2 to lock up top 2, all this. And I was speaking to my old man about this. You think we've won that game now, right? Won that game. We've got top 2, basically top, locked in. So now we play Adelaide and Sydney next week. Then we have the week off. Then we play the first final in Sydney. We got the week off. Then it's prelim final. Then it's grand final. The Swans now have 6 weeks in their own bed. They do not have to leave. They don't have to leave Sydney for 6 weeks until they come down for grand final day. So it's just so good to see them get it done, knowing that no traveling, nothing. They've got the perfect run now to just stay in Sydney and just rest up, recover, and get their bodies right just to be at the MCG Grand Final day. They do not have to leave their bed probably. So it was actually such a good win. They got it done. Isaac Heaney's last 2 week stars have just been out of this world. I'm pretty sure the Sharks got him on 29 Brownlow votes. I know Cripps and Dagos might be in the 30s, a bit more than that. We don't know the exact, but what a season he's fucking had. He's been unbelievable, and he's just got us over the line the last 2 weeks. And now I might have it from a pretty decent source that he won't play next week. He'll rest. Him, Brodie Grundy, Errol Goulden, Chad Warner might play. He actually wasn't too bad. And now we get to rest, not leave Sydney, and get them all ready for that first final, which is going to be against Geelong.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on when you guys were going through a little bit of that rough patch where it seemed like teams were cutting off corridor and you guys weren't getting the ball? How much does it help in the last 2 weeks? I know Heaney really had to insert himself the last quarter against Collingwood, but when they actually look for him, so the first half of the year, you know how he was able to go in and just win his own footy at will? Like he could just extract from a stoppage or whatever, and then he wasn't able to get that. But I feel on the weekend and the last quarter, the boys started to look for him again inside 50 in the corridor because he does so much with it. Like he's just his use is golden. Him, Goulden, Heaney, whenever they look for him. And it's like when teams were blocking off corridor, they had to create other avenues and it just wasn't working. And I think on the weekend, like, what do you only have? Like 22, but they were such a good 22 when he got it. And then when he went inside forward 50. So that seems to be the cream. Like, just they have to double down and look inside, whether he has to do a double tick lead or guys have to put on blocks. You have to get them open because their touches are golden.
Oh, you're so right. I just love when they kick him the footy, wherever he is on the ground. Kicking footy. Remember in 2022, it's a long time ago now, but he was the best one-on-one player in the comp. The whole comp, he was the best one-on-one player inside forward 50. And it's like, wherever he is on the field, if he's one-on-one, sometimes just kick it to him because it's not a 50-50, it's a 60-40 because he's so hard to match up on. So it's a great call. It just changes sometimes. And there was a couple of Collingwood where they'd block off the corridor, as we said last week, but they still just kicked it to him and he was just too strong, marking everything, getting everyone else going. So you're so right.
Yeah, well,
Grand Final Day 2022, he had one possession, 5 minutes before halftime. That can't ever happen again. It's like just get him the ball as many times as you can. Let him go to work something. He rarely gets beaten.
And those games are so hard though. Like when you guys were getting spanked out of the middle in the grand final, you're playing that half forward role where you need guys to get you the ball.
Yeah.
And it's just like you could see, I remember he was visibly like distraught. At least 100%. Now he can try and win his in the midfield, at least try and get some. But everyone needs to know we need our engine room rolling. Yep. When we kick goals, everyone else kicks goals. Yep. So it was a good game. Hayward's definitely stepped up. What's he? You're leading goal kicker now for the year for the Swans, which is a fucking.
It's good. Luke Parker, I saw that one come from a mile away. Luke Parker played well. I can't wait to see Luke Parker and Tom Papley play in the same forward line, Das.
I'm excited to watch Paps.
Their IQ, their footy IQ, and it's sort of Parker's smarts, Papley's speed, and they don't expect much out of Amati, McLean, and McDonald. Well, they expect a bit out of McDonald, but if they bring it to ground, watch those two go to work. Hayward's a hard matchup. Heaney will get down there, so we are going to have to do it different. But I'm just so glad we won. It must be fucking hard being a Bomber supporter.
Must be tough.
Like, surely they're borderline inconsolable, man. Like, they were second on the ladder, weren't they?
Yeah, second, and we all joked about it, and we're like, they won't make finals, and it's just like, it's impossible for them not to make finals. And Ben Dixon, I know he came out and made that call being like, they're definitely playing in a prelim, but I reckon that's just because he played at Hawthorn and he fucking hates the Bombers. Yeah, so I honestly think he tried to moz them. But I've got a question for you. Heading into finals, is Taylor Adams in your best 22?
So
everyone's ready to go. You've had your dress rehearsal now, so you got next week. First final is Taylor Adams playing in the side.
So if Justin McInerney's coming back, if Papley's coming back, and
Wicks is out for 5 weeks, he's done.
Yeah, Wicks is done. So honestly, it depends on how this Caden Cleary kid plays next week. So he'll 100% play. He'll nearly play a full game. If he plays that Wicks role with a heap of speed, and has some serious inside forward 50 pressure, I reckon they might pick him over Adams. But big finals, I sort of want Adams' experience. He always plays well in finals, but I just can't see him on the same field as Luke Parker, so I don't know. Seen GWS have put Cal Ward out onto a wing these days.
Cal Ward's had a fucking awesome year, Jeb, and he's kicked a lot of goals.
Can Taylor Adams be Cal Ward out in a wing? I don't know. We'll sort of see next week. We'll see where they play him next week. But he could be a full-time on bowler next week because we might rest Heaney, Warner, all these guys. So, I'm super interested. I'm going to lean he plays, but he'll have to play well for sure.
He's going to want to. And Morgs, what a spot for him, Matty Roberts. He's just we had that many DMs being like, can Morgs fucking fire up and get some ball? I'm like, who the fuck are we talking about? And then I realized it was Matty Roberts.
He has to be. What's his odds for Rising Star? I don't think he's going to win it, but he's had a pretty underratedly good season. He is 51-1. He's fifth favourite. Ollie Dempsey's $1.10. Wardlaw, McKercher, Wilson, Roberts. Yeah, that's fair.
So you got some odds for me for this game?
Yes, I do. You give me possessions first.
Yeah, Nick Martin 30.
$2.75.
Caldwell and Shield 30.
Caldwell was $4.80, which is nice. Dill Shield was $6.75, which is nice.
Mills for 25 and Archie Roberts for 25.
Yeah, someone DM'd us before the game saying get on Mills 25 plus at $4.30. And yeah, that's what he was, $4.30. That's a good bet, that one. And Archie Roberts, I wouldn't know him. I was like, who the hell's 38 for Preston being there? But good on him. He was 10-1 for 25 and some goals.
So Heaney, Parker for 3 and Nick Martin for 3 and Will Hayward for 3.
So Heaney was $5.50.
Nice.
Will Hayward was $4.30.
Yeah, nice.
Luke Parker was $10.50.
Nice.
I had the multi-das of Luke Parker 2, Will Hayward 2, Isaac Heaney 2, and I won. I think I turned 10 into 150, which was nice.
You had a good weekend on the punt.
But if I had them all for 3, it would have been like 500-1 looking at these odds now. And who's the other? Who else kicked 3? What's his name?
Nick Martin.
Nick Martin was 23-1 for 3. That would have been real nice.
Being there, before we quickly go on to the next game, did you think he had a good game? I thought Nick Martin actually played really, really, really well.
No, I did. I thought he was really good. I actually watched him from above. And I reckon sometimes he doesn't go to contests and he goes out on, he might pop out the dead side of a wing to be unmanned going forward. And then when it's an ugly entry inside forward 50, he's down there unmanned. That's what I sort of notice about him. They sort of go, because he's not a big body, he's not an inside bull with Dill Shield back in the side. It's like, find yourself with the ball on the outside, Nick Martin, because you're a beautiful kick, a beautiful ball user, and we want you getting it inside 50 because they murdered it going inside 50, the Bombers. So, yeah. Your thoughts on Nate Caddy, Das?
Yeah, he's not bad. I think he's all right. I think he's got a big future, not as much as Stenny. Stenny reckons he's horrendous. But if you're taking their careers, if you're taking Caddy's career or Nick Watson's career, it's Nick Watson. Nick Watson will have more All-Australians. He will be a better accomplished player by the end of their careers.
So you think Nick Watson's going to have a better career than Nate Caddy?
Yeah, Nate Caddy might have some big moments. That's fine.
And would Tassie, if you were the GM at Tassie, would you take Nate Caddy or Nick Watson?
Well, if you don't have anyone else as a GM, you'd think that you'd take a key forward over a small. I think the Hawks, that's exactly what they needed. A small, even though they seem like to have a million smalls, but they all seem to work really well. Depends on what you need. I can see a GM with taking always a tall talent over a small talent. But Nick Watson was there. They needed him. And I think that I'll be hedging on that side of the career. Guys in the comments, let us know. Caddy or Watson? Yeah,
next 10 years or over their career. I'll take Caddy. I think he's got something. I think he's going to be a good player. That's that game done. Next game, Das. What are the Gold Coast Suns? They've lost to the Melbourne Demons by 54 points in Gold Coast. Did they drink a bit of their own? How hard did they go at electric into Revs double last week when they beat the Bombers after the siren? Because what has gone on here?
Also, they've had their first roadie, the big one. So Dimmer's like, you're not allowed a beer if you don't win on the road, which is fair. And they had a big win. So the boy, Mac Andrews, must have had a list somewhere and they've all gone, maybe wound back the clock like CQ or like just somewhere, just ripped down Fitzroy Street. But so they've come home, Jev, and they must have slept in the wrong beds because they're absolutely, or they must have the pork snags on the way home. Oh. So Melbourne win by 54 points. Have a guess how much Melbourne were playing to win by 40 plus?
Oh, at least 10-1.
$12.
Yeah, 12. I'm not surprised. Melbourne went without Stephen May, without Clayton Oliver, still no Petrarca. I'm looking at their team now. They left out so many guys. And yeah, they still put some good players on the field, as they always do.
I'm convinced. I know everyone keeps talking about the culture of Melbourne and like how they're cooked. I actually think that they're going to be all right. So you look at who they've had out this year. Clary's had a shocker of a year, but they've still been in so many games and like played some pretty good footy. Like they've gone up and they've won here. They pushed Port Adelaide last week. Who else did they have the week before that? Like they got absolutely trampled by the Dogs, but they had their worst team in forever. They pushed the Giants. They only lost by 2 points. Like they actually haven't been like horrendous. Yeah. They've been spanked by Freo twice. So that's a bit of a mulligan. But when you look at them, I was like, they like they're not that bad. Like I could see them if Petrarca comes back, everyone has a really fit, good preseason. Forget how dominant they were the last 2 years. Like they went out straight sets where they should have beaten us. You just feel they should have played in a couple of grand finals. Like they really should have.
No, you're right. When you go out straight sets, it's just so disappointing. Like they had to at least play in some of those prelims. I just feel
100%.
like, this is the Simon Goodwin thing, and this is like this is what they think of coaches in the NBA and the NFL and stuff. Simon Goodwin and his game plan and the way he plays football is going to win you double figures games every year and give you a chance to make the 8 every year. They contest and defense. They say it all the time. So there's going to be a chance to play finals every year. But are they ever going to win the flag again? I just looked, 2021 grand final. They kicked 140 points that day. I haven't done the research. I bet you they have not kicked 140 points once since the 21 grand final.
Oh, you know who they are?
Who? The Dallas Cowboys.
No, they're the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're just a 500 team.
They are.
They're just like Mike Tomlin. Like they're just defensive enough. They're just going to win enough of their games.
They pay defense.
And then they just hang their hat on that. Like,
hang
Mike
around,
Tomlin,
100%.
Always say
what are they? They're 11-11 on the year.
500 team.
500 team. Next week they could finish 12-11 or they finish 11-12. And it's like Simon Goodwin's going to give them a chance every year to play in the 8, but I don't think they're good enough to win a flag anymore. Gordon just signed a 2-year extension, which they have to go all in while he's there for 2 more years.
So what they need, it's just going to be so interesting to judge over the next bit whether Neil Bullen's probably going to go.
Yeah.
Viney, the chat around him, you just have a feeling he's probably going to go. If Petrarca goes, are you going to try and get something for Clary? So there's like 4 of your best. Gorn's only got a year or 2 left. You're going to have... So if you offload some of those contracts because you have to, like they're going to have some cash.
Yeah.
And maybe not next year, but the year after, like it's going to be pretty good to go play at Melbourne if they've got a heap of cash. But you know what they need? They just need someone to roughen up the feathers of their forwards. Like Van Ruin and Disco Turner, like, they look great on the weekend, but can you do it all the time? A couple of Disco Turner's marks is what Melbourne have been missing for so long. Yep. Ball comes in, high ball contested, go up and get it. And then just have a good set shot because they seem to have shots from the worst spots on the ground because they can't take a mark inside forward like 30 meters. So,
I love the nibbler. He's going to be so good at either Adelaide club he goes to. He's such a good leader, footballer, team player, like role player. As you say, 15 touches equals
15 kilometres.
What do you have on the weekend? 21 touches equals
21 Ks. 22 Ks he ran.
22. He's had 22 touches. I want to know. Oh, they don't do the Telstra tracker anymore, do they?
Well, can you imagine if he went to Port Adelaide and you could almost like wax him and Willem Drew just on like a midfielder.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty nice.
Or the damage. I love when he plays on a damaging halfback and he does it like, he went to Dacos, the quicker sort of guys and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm excited for him. The Suns, their season's over. No one thought, it's hard. They had the softest draw of all time. So everyone's like, they should make the 8 on this soft draw. They're 10-12. They're probably going to finish. Who have they got next week? I don't even care. Do you care?
Fuck them. Who cares? Jev, I've got some odds for you.
Yeah, give him.
Disco Turner for 4 snags.
Yeah.
He was paying $41.
Oh, that would have been nice.
Petty for 3 goals was $23.
Van Ruin for 3.
$5.90.
Then it was Ben King. Viney for 2.
Viney for 2 was $16. Fuck, that would have paid heaps.
Oh my! If you had Disco Turner, Ruin, and Viney, you'd be eating well.
Yes, you would. Touches.
Ed Langdon, 35.
It's a good game.
He kicked a snag as well.
He couldn't even get Ed Langdon for 35.
30?
Langdon. Yeah, $16 for 30.
30. Anderson, Viney, Rivers, 30.
Rivers was $4.40. Anderson, $1.86. Jack Viney, $5.50. Not too bad. I thought it would have been a little bit more than that.
Not bad. Could have made some money. The Nibbler for 20. Nah, that'll be it. Jack Billings had 21. Will Jack Billings be on an AFL list next year?
No. Hey, but it's all because he got drafted to St Kilda. We all know that. They can't
we all know
develop
that.
players. If Bond went there, he would have been horrendous.
No, next game. This game was fucking awesome. GWS got the job done by 9 points on the back of. I'm going to do my pyramid at the end of round 24 on the back of a man that is in some rare air touch right now. He's on fire. Talk to me, Das.
This game, Jev, as you did say, was fucking awesome. I thought, like, Freo had a good crack, especially because they didn't have the big Pizza Hut up forward. They were missing a couple others, but it's just a game that the Giants had to win, and they did. What, it was 7 on the trot now?
Yeah, something like that.
Was it more?
That's a lot of wins.
But it's just a good win that they had to have at home. Obviously, you're going to touch on it, but Jesse Hogan. So Brendan Cox is going to be having nightmares. I don't think they can even show him the tape. So if they go to the Oscars this year and they have a horror film, it's just Brendan Cox's tape against Jesse Hogan. In the end of the game, Jesse Hogan was running him up the ground and running him back. It's like he was doing shuttle runs or it's a beep test over like 150 meters. Brendan Cox was just quivering, like hands on hips. He couldn't even yell out to a teammate to check him on the way through. It was fucked. 6 goals, 15 touches. Was as dominant as you could see. So he kicked the first 2. Now, I think he's got a bit of the tism, old Hogan. When he misses a goal, you just see him. He's like, the wind was pulling one, and he's just like reenacting, like, it's like an outswinger. Like he gets so filthy at himself. Or he went up to the lead up onto the flank. He had 2 people on him, and someone just put it like at his feet, and he's just, get up. Like, he gets so angry, but it's so good to watch.
Just after talking to Finn last week, been kicking it in shit in that forward line with Tobes and Jesse Hogan. You just want to run away. You would get some good sprays out there. Tobes does well to hide it now that he's the captain. He can't have the bad body language. But back in the day, you would cop some sprays.
So him and then Binger Daniels from the start, Jev. That was probably the best game.
Have a look at his AFL fantasy points. 171. 3 goals, 129. He was fucking on fire.
So I was watching both games. So I had this one on, and because I didn't really have like any volume on, so I wasn't really listening to the commentary and just watching, and we're just messaging our group chat. I'm like, Brent Daniels is on fucking fire. Like,
dominating.
Inside 50 kicks. Like, everything he touched was just like golden, like kicking goals, getting back, defensive stops, getting a hand in, a tackle. Like, he's just the perfect player that you'd want in your side. So what's that? 29 disposals, 3 goals, 1. And it fucking means something to him. I just think, if I had to put money on a team to win it right now, just because they're just winning in such a good way. And it seemed like when the sign went. So he had a great game. Tom Green took the piss in the second half, had like, 20... we had like 27 disposals, I think, in the second half. Like, just went berserk. They look so good when they've got the boys back, when they've got Kelly, Cogs back. They've got the small runners. Like, this is their full squad. So I'm really looking forward. At the end, Jack Buckley, I think, went down. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, he didn't do his ACL, did he? I saw him there. He was testing his knee.
Yeah, I'm not sure they've come out with anything yet.
Yeah, Tom Green had 27 disposals in the second half, 13 in the third quarter, 14 in the last.
Yeah, he went berserk.
Fuck, he went nuts. He was getting a lot of it. Is he? I don't know. You look at his last month, he has to be still alive for the Brownlow, doesn't he?
He has to be alive.
I know we talk. I'm just going to quickly get it up. Das, you talk about Freo for a sec, because right now they are finding themselves out of the 8. So this is one of these next week games we're talking about. Freo are outside of the 8 right now. They've got Port Adelaide coming to town. Port Adelaide are playing to finish. To finish second on the ladder and get the home final against the Giants, or if they lose and the Giants win, Giants get the home final against Port Adelaide. So Port Adelaide have a lot to play for. Finishing top 2, a home final in Adelaide is a good carrot, and Freo have to win to make finals. And we'll know if the Giants beat the Dogs in, where is it? Oh, yeah. So
Canberra.
the first game, 12:30 on Sunday, is Giants Dogs. Giants, if the Giants win that, they'll be second on the ladder.
Yeah.
So then Port Adelaide have to win to get a home final, and Freo have to win to make finals.
So you know what shit? So we were chatting about this before. Carlton are on at 3:20.
Yeah.
And then the Freo Port game's on at 6:10 on a Sunday. They should both be on at the same time, so you could have a watch party.
Because
unless if they change it, they probably could with the floating fixture.
Yeah, just bring it to the same time.
The only shit thing is, if Carlton win, Freo can't make it, and then they're just playing like as a dead rubber.
Exactly.
But if you've got both of them on at the same time with the live scores, it's like Porter trying to finish top 2, we're trying to make it, Freo trying to make it. It's going to be fucking awesome.
When I went to the Freo social media and they do the final score thing, and I read the comments. They said that is the last game Bailey Banfield should ever play for the Fremantle Dockers.
Oh, that wasn't that bad.
He gave a couple of downfield free kicks, didn't he? And they're like, fans were filthy at him. Filthy.
He gave one to Hogan, and Brendan Cox went off at him. He's like, that's going to look bad.
Brendan Cox is just trying to get some air.
That's fucked.
You got some odds there?
Yeah, I do. Let's go through snags first.
So Jesse Hogan for 6. Let me have a guess. I'll go like the 34-1.
Jesse Hogan for 6 was only $11.
Oh, wow. That is short. Binger for 3.
Binger Daniels was $11, which is good.
Mickey Frederick for 3.
$8.50.
That's nice. Now, a lot of 2s. So Tobes for 2 would have been like $1 bugger all. $1.50. Caleb Sarong for 2.
Caleb Sarong would have been paying a bit. $8.25.
That's nice. Sam Sturt.
Yeah, $2.50. Should have had a couple more as well.
Pat Voss.
Vossi, he's another one like Jesse Hogan. He gets pissed off at himself. $3.15. You'd love that.
What about Jai Mrs. set shot goal kicking? So the goal he kicked was on the run from some nice ball movement from Morgs' man, what's his name? Neil Wagner out of the back line. Then he kicked one on the run. Then he just missed set shots. Kieran Briggs kicked one. Cadman kicked one. Cal Ward kicked one. Yeah. Nat Five kicked one. And then touches.
I've got to put this on the agenda first, Jev. I have pinpointed the downfall of Fremantle.
Yep.
They tactically subbed Neil Erasmus off against the Bombers. The floodgates opened. Then they
haven't won since.
They haven't won since. They subbed out Neil Erasmus. They were all over the Bombers. And ever since then, the damn wall. So I think you should have a look at Neil Erasmus for next weekend because he's the Rahul Dravid.
So you're saying for Fremantle to make the 8, they have to select Neil Erasmus.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm not stuttering.
Well done. Disposals, Andrew Brayshaw for 40.
$14.
Tom Green for 40.
$8.25.
Binger for 25.
Binger for 25. What a game he had. Brent Daniels. $4.75. So if he had 30... it would have been $13.
13 times 11 is like, what? That's like $140. Just the Binger Daniels game would have been 141. Das, I want people to comment or DM us how many people got done on multis. Hayden Young, 19 touches. Caleb Sarong, 24 touches. I know. So I sent a screenshot in one of our group chats. I had all green ticks with, Hogs for 3, Tobes for 2. I had Caleb Sarong, 25, Hayden Young, 20. One touch off. You sent a screenshot. You had the exact same 2 losing legs. The Shark sent a screenshot. He had the exact same 2 losing legs. So I reckon there would have been 200 multis out there that got done from those 2 losing legs.
Fucked. Also, our man, the local produce, Finn Callahan, 25 touches, 245. I think they said he's a top 15 player in the AFL at the moment over the last 8 weeks.
He's on fire. He's ready for a big September. I can't wait to talk to him again.
Fucking oath.
I mean, we won't do it. The last thing he wants to do in the middle of finals is talk to us two again. Gee, he was a good bloke last week.
Yeah, he was. All right, let's go next game.
Fuck this game. Fuck this fucking game. Fuck's sake. This stupid... I had nightmares all last night of this stupid gummy bear I've got to eat because the Brisbane Lions jumped into bed without any jocks on, just in their brand new white sheets. They stole the sheets from a hotel. They got in their bed and just laid a shit and just laid in it the whole night. Fuck the fucking Lions. I reckon they've just cost themselves a chance at the flag by dogging this game because they are no longer in the top 4, no longer in the top 2. They just cost themselves a premiership. They were 24 points up at quarter time. At one stage, it was like 6 goals 4-10. Like they were up by like 37 points or something. And then they just fucking laid the biggest of eggs. They got Dacos. Don't get beaten by what you know. Oh, this game pissed me off. You go first.
If Brisbane and Sydney just have a team meeting, you guys figure out your first quarters and they just figure out the rest of the game. They'll be fine. Like this was identical to last week against the Giants. So they got off to an unbelievable start. Everyone was getting it. Lachie Neale kicked the first goal. Everyone seemed to be getting involved. Kai Lohman was fucking everywhere, taking marks. They were coming inside 50. They're like, this is the Brisbane side, and they were celebrating every goal. It's like, all right, yeah, they maybe won the grand final, but we're going to get them on this one. And the crowd was so quiet. And then enter Nick Dacos in the second quarter. I could say it was probably one of the best individual quarters I've ever seen. And I rarely root for Collingwood at all. But every time he was getting the ball, you just like, have another shot, go. He turned around, it was Lachie Neale and someone else. Who had the helmet on?
I can't remember. But yeah, he looked at Lachie Neale and thought, bugger this.
Oh, and he's just gone. And the finish, it was identical to the goal celebration winning versus Port Adelaide. We were there round 2 last year. As he kicked it, the hand just went up straight in the air. And it's a player like that can just flip the script, which is like, and you watch every player get to him. And Craig McRae, they went straight to the camera on the bench. And the team was just clapping, looking at each other like, oh my God. And Craig McRae's just like, let's fucking go. He went to come off twice in that quarter. And Craig McRae's like, you're staying out there. He's just like, all right. Just went to go rest forward. Just shows how much he means to that side.
Oh.
Bobby Hill fucked us in a few multis, but we still love him. Sidebottom played an unbelievable game. They just came hard at the end. Josh Dacos went through. They were flipping Howe's magnet around. He had 24 touches. But like Darcy Moore still didn't have a massive game. Pendlebury didn't have a massive game. It was literally off the back of Nick. Schultz stepped up finally. I thought McStay was really good. Fuck, they've missed him.
Who went to Dacos in the last quarter?
Who went to Dacos?
He only had 2 touches in the last quarter.
Yeah, no, he looked like he was running around, but he just wasn't falling his way.
He was gassed and right. Fuck, Sportsbet Darts, they did it for you too. They gave us an odds boost on Joe Danaher.
Oh, fuck, Joe.
I had him at $24 to kick 5. I had $12 and I think I was going to win, $250 if he kicked 5. He kicked 4 goals, fucking 2. He is so frustrating. The 2 misses just should have been goals.
So Charlie Cameron would be so angry. The amount of times that he burnt him, and then did you watch the whole game?
No, I was in and out.
Just the lack of moments. He had it in like the third quarter and they handball it to him. He's off the half back line, just tries to rip off a torp and just kicks it out on the full. And they're just like, what the fuck? What the fuck are you doing? Oh, he doesn't care. He would know. Doesn't have a TV in his house. He'd drive back to Byron or wherever he lives and just wins training Tuesday. Perfect. See the boys then.
What was the umpiring like in the last quarter to us? Fine. Nothing stood out to you?
Nah, ever since we've sort of like spoken about it over last year, I don't really look. I genuinely don't even notice it that much anymore. There's a few that if there's like deliberates, you're like, that's not it. But you've got that much time in the rest of the game to get it right. So I think it's fine.
I just retweeted something on my Twitter of this Brisbane supporter. He's got the hat on, the polo and the scarf, and he's like, fuck the AFL and the fucking umpires. It's fucking rigged. And I'm like, what did I say on the pod? I said, Chris Fagan, get out to a 25, 30 point lead. Don't let it come down to umpiring in the last quarter because you know Collingwood rely on the umpires in the last quarter and they've lost by a fucking point again. I reckon that has spooked Brisbane. I reckon that has spooked them. Well, it's probably cost them the premiership or a chance at the premiership because now they're going to finish 5th, 54. Who do the Cats have next week? West Coast at GMHBA. So they're winning. So, Brisbane can't get into the top 4 anymore. So they've just cost themselves top 4 by losing the 2 unlosables the last 2 weeks. and now they're not going to win the premiership. And all they had to do was go to the MCG and beat Collingwood, and they couldn't fucking do it.
I know we're going to keep looking at the ladder, but teams, just say yes or no, teams that you're comfortable with winning 3 or 4 games in a row.
To win the premiership, basically.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to win 3 or 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Ideally, you're not going to lose the first final, come back, then go back to the prelims. So, Carlton, you comfortable with them winning 4 games in a row?
Nah.
Hawks.
Yep.
With no Will Day?
Their form's too good. They're going to get the Dogs on the G.
All right.
Then
Dogs,
they could get the Cats on the G.
You comfortable with the Dogs winning 4 games in a row?
Yep.
Brisbane?
Yep, but I think they've cost themselves. But I can see it 100%.
Cats?
Yep.
Giants?
Yep.
Port Adelaide?
Yep.
Sydney?
Absolutely.
I just can't see the Power winning 3 in a row.
Yeah, they usually shit the bed, but they've been pretty good lately. They've been pretty good. Like they've 15-7 for the season, 60 points.
I can see the Swans, the Giants, and the Cats. I don't know why the Cats. I just feel that when it gets to final, they'll just.
Did you watch the Dogs today? Would you want to play Bont, Darcy, Jamara, fucking Norton in the Waitman in the finals?
Only because they're outside the 4. They might win 3, and then by the time they come to grand final day, that's their 4th one.
Yeah.
The top 4 is such an advantage.
I was there 2016. It didn't bother them. It didn't fucking bother them.
No Tom Boyd, Jeff. He said they got Darcy, Jamara, and Norton.
I can't believe the Lions lost this game. The stupid gummy bear I'm going to have to eat and the hot corn chips, I'm going to be in trouble the next day and that night. Mike, I'm going to have nightmares for a week, Das.
Your asshole's going to be cooked. All right, Joe Danaher.
I'm bringing yogurt, milk, flavored milk, everything. You know on The Simpsons when Homer drinks the candle wax and he just eats the chilies? I'm drinking candle wax. Tell Morgs to light a candle. I'm going to message Morgs. Light the candle, brother, because I'm eating the wax or I eat the chilies. I'm just going, and then going on a trip. I don't know how I'm going to react to it. Am I going to be working Wednesday? Oh, fuck, who knows?
Your butthole. Joe Danaher, 4 goals, 675. Lockie Schultz, welcome to the party, fella. Lockie Schultz, 280. For 2, Kyle Lohman for 2 was 330. Nick Dacos, 390.
Schultz. McStay.
Dan McSteak Pie. He was
$1.80.
212. Let's go.
That's real nice for a key forward. McCreary, Lockie Neal.
McQuarrie for 2 was 750. Lockie Neal would have been a bit as well. Lockie Neal, $7.
Geez, hasn't Darcy Cameron had a good year?
Dobe Cameron.
And then touches weren't much. It's really Josh Dunkley, 25. Dacos, Sidebottom, 25.
He's just another player that they had to get on top and win, and they just couldn't.
Oh, they're going to rue this loss, the Lions.
Oh, McCluggage, what do you have? 25? No, 26. Yeah, so McCluggage was $1.64. Dunkley, $1.47. Who else? That's about it. Shit game. Anyway, no, great game.
Great game. Great awesome fun game. Bad game to bet on, but awesome game of footy. The Lions dogged it. Next game, the Showdown. The Power won by 22 points. This was a pretty cool game. I was watching a bit of this. I was in and out of this and the other one, and on date night with my missus, so it was hard to watch. It was hard to be on top of all. But Power just get it done. They get over the top. The Crows started early. Started on fire like they always do in these showdowns. But yeah, Power just too good. They're in good form. The Power does.
They are in good form, Jev. It would have been. It's one of our musts. We must go to a showdown soon. Adelaide is that good as it is.
Yeah.
And on the hill,
so
going to a showdown would be awesome. Lots of goal kickers at the start. Horn Francis is just continuing on his form. He's a good player. He screams Norm Smith medal, doesn't he?
Yeah. He sort of just got him going, didn't he? I had the multi. I was telling you this. I had the multi. Darcy Fogarty 2, Isaac Rankin 2, Horn Francis 1, Riley Thilthorpe 1, and I had like $25 on it. It ticked by half time. I was absolutely wrapped. I had the cash in my account at half time.
Who is one of the most unlikable players in the AFL currently?
Fucking Josh Rochelle. Fucking idiot. Jeez, Kane went through him on the Sunday Footy Show, didn't he?
I didn't watch it.
Oh, he didn't miss on the volcano. He
That's
didn't
good.
fucking miss. He was like, you embarrassed yourself, basically. You seen that one where he shirks it, where it's a 50-50 ball and he sort of stops and reaches in for it? Kane put it straight up. He goes, you've shirked the issue, not for the first time this year. Tell you whose tape Josh Rochelle needs to watch if he wants to be a big celebrator, me guy. And I know I'm a Swans bias. Tom Papley does not shirk the footy.
No, he does not.
He goes as hard as anyone, and he will never shirk a contest. And then, yes, he celebrates and he annoys people and he gets in the face of people, but he does not shirk it. He's as tough as they come. Josh Rochelle needs to watch how Tom Papley goes about it, because he'll do all these little me things and think he's above the team. And then when it's time to put the head over the ball, he doesn't fucking do it. Go watch today's Volcano. I'll send it to you later.
I will.
He shirks it.
I'm so upset that I didn't get on Butters for the medal.
Oh,
I was gonna do it. So Fireball Friday, they were talking about Showdown medalists and like how
who's won 2?
And what's his name? Fucking Gray. Robbie Gray's won 5, and they're just like talking about the other number 9. Like Zach Butters hasn't won one yet, but I'm sure he'll have one. He might even win one this weekend. I was like,
Kane
put
goes,
money on him.
Kane goes, he's poised to win one, his first one this weekend. And I'm like, yes, let's put money on him. And he's fucking he's had an all-time game. What's he had? 42 and 1 goal too. Who was on him, Das?
They shake hands at the start, Adelaide, and they say, I'll see you at the end. I bet you it was Rory Laird on him for most of the game.
I'll tell you what you and me absolutely love is like when we met him in Adelaide, and he was in a booth and he was in the middle of the booth so no one could get to him. And it's like, he's like, how old is he? He's fucking 24, 23. He's probably on $1 million a season. He's the best player in his state. Can you imagine the wheelchairs he was handing out last night? Oh, can you imagine his DMs after last night? You do that in Adelaide on Showdown week. Oh, what a player.
Like how good is – so he's had 9 touches in the first quarter, 12 in the second, 10 in the third, and then 11 and a goal in the last.
He's just, when did he kick his other goal? In the first?
No, he only kicked one.
Sorry.
One goal, 2.
What a game. What a player. Just 10 touches a quarter. Just put someone on him.
20 contested possessions.
Oh, it's one of those 4 Brownlow vote games, isn't
10 clearances. He's had a great year. Good on him.
Yeah, he really has.
Let's go through some odds. Dan Houston played his last game for Port Adelaide.
Yeah, I like this call from you. He's played his last game for Port Adelaide.
As soon as I saw it, I'm like, well, he has to get 6. If you look at what Peter Wright did, what did he get 6?
Yeah, I think so.
So he went past the ball. The ball's in the air. He's like, I'm not even going to go the ball. I'm just going to brace.
Did you see that exchange between Matty Nix and Ken Hinkley?
No, what they say?
Oh, you can't see what they say. They're walking off talking. They're nice and close to each other. It doesn't look too bad. And you can't see what Ken's saying and Matty Nix saying. And then Matty Nix just left like shaking his head. He was fuming or whatever Ken replied. So I don't think Ken had any sympathy for Isaac Rankine or saying, I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, you reckon 6. I reckon he'll get given 5 and it'll get downgraded to 3 maybe.
He won't play any finals.
No, I reckon he'll be available grand final day if they get there. They'll make it work for that, I betcha. What is it, 1 game? Oh, then they'll plan on finishing top 2 and then only winning 2 games. Yeah, he'll get 4. To see him again, they'll have to lose the first final.
Yeah, no, he won't get in. So Butters for 40 touches, Jev, $12.50. I didn't get the fucking odds for the medals. Shattered. 25 touches. Who we have? Matt Crouch, Rosie, $1.28. Rosie. What was Rosie? $1.35. They're all pretty short, Jev. There's
and then goals. Burn Jones 2, Frankie Evans 2, Willie 2.
So let's go 2s. So let's go Willie Rioli, $1.73. You look at his, not body shaming here, but you look at him, he would just rock up to training. Like, do you reckon he's in the weight room or he's counting his calories?
No, I don't. I really don't. But he can kick a footy and he's
just
can take a hang.
He's a footballer. You just look at him. I'm like, you are a barrel. Like a dead set barrel. So, old Barrel Rioli, $1.73 for 2 schnaggies. Francis Evans, Frankie Boy, $5.90, Morgs' man. Doe Burn Jones, what was he paying? Tobias Burn-Jones, 235.
Dobie B. Das Fogarty. Jason Horn-Francis for 2.
Jason Horn-Francis, 225. So all in the twos. Great win. Good game by Port Adelaide. They have to keep winning. Adelaide, that is your season done. Memberships in the microwave. See you next year.
The Crows. They need some work in this offseason. They need some players. How the hell did the Cats lose this game, Das? The Saints won by 18 points. They were down by about 6 goals, I reckon. They were down by, 36 points. Then they kicked, so what was it? It was 9 goals 3 to 3 goals 6. So that's 33 points.
Turnaround.
Then they've kicked 13 goals to 5 in the second half. 13 goals in the second half. This is what you got to love about. No, so if you're a Saints supporter, you're pissed off that your season was done at about round 12. And you're like, fuck me, what a wasted year. But Ross Lyon's gone, righto, let's just play, like, I've obviously too over-structured you defensively. Start playing offensive footy. Start flowing the footy. Wins or losses don't matter. Who can play? Who can kick goals? Start running. Then guys like Darcy Wilson in his first year has had 2 goals, 3 and 25 touches. They're like, he's in the best side next year. He's in our premiership plans, all this stuff. Like, he was great. They've just gone to town.
Jack Higgins came out, big second half, 3 snags. Jack Steele, he pops up once every 5 weeks and has a game like this, 27 and 2.
Yeah, have a look at his stat line. 2 goals, 1, 27 touches, 15 kicks, 12 handballs, 10 marks, 10 tackles. Quintuple double. Another
massive game by Rowan Marshall. Had him as most votes for St Kilda 3 weeks ago at 450, and we fucking forgot to get on it. He'd be leading, or he'd be close to favourite.
For sure.
He's had another massive game. So I had a message from Bally last night. He's like, Doe, guarantee it, put your house on it, the Saints win. He said, put your house on it. And I said, I'll back you in. But I didn't end up putting any money on it. He's like, how good's that? Also, he's like, tell your mate, what did he say? Shannon Neal, don't you reckon he looks like that cunt off Grease Lightning? He reckons he looks like, can you say it? Reckons he looks like John Travolta. It's pretty good. He would be handing out wheelchairs. I reckon he kicked his snag early, I'm pretty sure, Shannon Neal, and he just had the list lined up. Just wheelchairs ready. He had Summit Tramp, GQ, CQ, whatever it's called, down to Fitzroy Street, Men's Gallery, whatever. Wheelchairs.
So now the Cats, so you know what the Cats are like. They'll win next week at GMHPA Stadium, but they're coming to Sydney no matter what. Swans, first final. Do you reckon they'd be happy with that? You reckon they're confident with beating the Swans? They did kick the first. They were 6 goals up against us, and then we kicked about 8 goals in 4 minutes on them.
Oh, they can't jump out of fourth, can they?
No, they can. If they lose and the Lions win.
That's not going to happen. So they're going to beat West Coast. So I've got one for you. Do they play Tom Hawkins next week if he's fit?
I think they have to. I think they've got to give Jez a rest.
Are they a better club than Essendon?
Well, are they a better club than Essendon?
Do you do this by your good players?
No,
yes,
they got to give Tom Hawkins a chance to play finals.
100%.
Because I would like. Tom Hawkins is a big boy. Chris Scott can go and speak to him, and he can go, we're going to play you, but if you're looking too slow out there, we're sitting Gary Rowan as the sub. We're going to sub you off for speed straight away. It might be middle of the second quarter. If you're just not moving well there and we look too slow, 2-1 pace, sub you off. Tom Hawkins go, no worries, I'm in. Like that. He's the ultimate man, ultimate team man. So
he needs 4 goals for 800.
Hey?
He needs 4 goals for 800.
They're too good of a club to not give him that chance. He has to play next week. Is he fit to play next week?
He might be. Depends how many luncheons he's been doing.
He's fit to have another frothy, that's for sure. He's had that many.
All right, let's have a look at some odds at this game. We're still in the St Kilda Geelong game somehow.
Foot 2 weeks, it says on the AFL. I haven't actually looked at this. So 2 weeks, he'll do everything he can to play. It's going to be hard to pick him first final if he hasn't played in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It's going to be really hard. But then again, to beat the Swans, you want to stretch us and you want to be tall and big against us. So you have Jez, you have Hawk, you have big Cowboy Neil. That's the team you want to play. But then he looked too slow against the Swans last time. So, yeah, we'll see. Give me some odds. Do you want disposal goals?
Higgins for 3 was 410. Who else kicked 3? Jez for 3, 265.
Das
Dobe
Wilson for 2.
Old Dobie Wilson, 775. He's had a great year.
Jack Steele for 2.
Jack Steele, $13. Nice.
$13. Stengel, Manor. Sean Manor for 2. He's playing some good footy.
Stengel's $1.98. Sean Manor was $3.40. It's not bad.
Mitch Owens, Cooper Sharman.
Mitch Owens has taken a step back this year, unfortunately. $3.35. Easy to say that from the couch, Jeff. Now, man.
The Sharmanator.
Yeah, $2.60. It's awesome.
And then touches was really Jack Bowes, 31. Jack Bowes for 30.
Jack Bowes for 31. Jesus. He was scrolling down the list, 10.50.
The 2 highest disposal getters for the Saints, Rowan Marshall, their ruckman, and Cal Wilkie, their centre-half back, their full back. Both 25
apiece. Marshall was $2.95, and I don't think we can get Cal Wilkie, $4.75. That's still pretty short.
Marshall's another one that's going to be extremely stiff to not be All-Australian again.
Yeah, the Rucks they just don't win enough games.
Yeah. Fuck. It's going to be stiff. Good on the Saints. So now it's Blues Saints next weekend. They're going to cut. They're a different beast under the lid on a Sunday, Harmo Das.
The Saints.
You got to be nervous.
Oh, fucking oath. I've seen us win one game out of our last 7 against them. Last year was the first game I ever seen live Carlton beat St Kilda. They torch us every year.
They love it on the lid. And Rossline said he wants to be the Grinch and ruin a couple of seasons. It's going to be is it a Carlton home game or a St Kilda home game? It's Carlton home game. It's going to be a packed house to the brim. If the Saints want to make a bit of a name for themselves and start a rivalry, knock Carlton out of the finals. Rock up with nothing to play for and beat Carlton, because then you will hate the Saints. Carlton supporters will hate the Saints for the rest of their lives, sort of thing.
Hate them. Already hate them.
Hate them already. Go and beat them next week, and you'll actually have a chip. Like, you'll have a chip on your shoulder going into next year. It'll be great to do in front of the 50,000 Carlton supporters that go there. Are you going to
go? Probably.
That'll be fun. All right, let's get on to Sunday. The Dogs gave North an absolute pumping behind an all-time performance from Sam Darcy. Holy shit, he was on fire, Darcy. They all were. Jamara was cooking. Everyone was cooking.
Old Sam Dobe had an absolute day out. 7 goals won, 20 disposals. He had 1 goal, 5 last week, Jev. And what we say, bad kicking's bad football.
Yeah.
He listened to the roast and he said, you're right. Let's kick it between the big sticks. So 7 goals, 20 disposals. He's a fucking
15
player.
Score involvements. I'm looking right here.
Yeah.
15 score involvements.
It's fucked.
That's a big day.
Like, Davies Uniacke had his 30. Who else? Bailey Scott, he's had a really good year for them. But when you don't have enough guys that can punish, you're just not going to get the job done. So I want to know, Jev. I want to know, where is he? All right. I want to know, would you be happy if you got to play an AFL game?
Yes.
You'd hang your hat on it?
Yes.
You'd be happy?
Yes.
Would you rather not play an AFL game, or the game you played today was Callan Dawson's game on Sam Darcy?
10 touches.
He got his pants pulled down, Jev, like on live television.
In front of Australia.
And it's not his fault. Some of the kicking, I must say, come inside forward 50 was to his advantage, perfect, highest point, like unspoilable. But would you take that game? Would you take that game?
So you asking,
honestly,
if Alistair Clarkson called me today and said, Jeff, we need you, you're going to play on Sam Darcy.
That's your game. That's the only game. It's on
you're going
tape.
to kick 7, you're going to lose by 100 points, but we need you today. Yeah, I'd take it.
That's your game on tape.
Would you do it?
Go back and read. No way. Go back and rewatch that. Jev, he was scratching his head, the poor bugger.
Jeez, so, have a look at the Dogs goal kickers. Darcy 7, Waitman 3. Ugolagan 3, Waitman 2, McRae 2, Norton 2, Richards 2, Williams 1, Vandermeer 1. Bont couldn't get on the scoreboard. He would have cost a few multis. Ed Richards' goal from 58. You see that one where he tackled that one home? That was a nice finish.
So they showed behind the goals footage. It was Darcy, Ugelhagen and Norton in a triangle, just looping around the top of the goal square. Then you had Waitman and then West about another 10 metres above from that. Good luck.
Good luck.
So the ball comes to a high point to either one of the forwards where they can shepherd out and almost box out so they can get a one-on-one because they're all good vertical players.
Yeah.
Or one can come through and block, and then you've got West and Waitman coming either one end of the stoppage and then one cutting straight through the front. It's dangerous. It's good.
North of Cheeks, did you watch them try and kick the ball around?
Yeah, they can't kick.
They can't fucking kick. They're so LDU's not going to make All-Australian, but he's good enough to probably get in the squad of 40. I said it a couple of weeks ago. They can't have Jerry and Sheasel in the All-Australian team when they've won 3 games this year. They're 3-19. They could not have 2 players in the best 23 in the competition and be a 3-19 team.
You know what's weird? Even everyone would say that they've had a lot of improvement this year. Would you probably say they've improved?
Absolutely.
They've still only won 3 games.
They've won 3. They're fucking shit.
3 games.
Oh,
must be tough.
They've conceded 2,380 points. They've conceded 110 more than Richmond. They've conceded 800 more points than the Swans. 800. Sorry, 700. 700. That's fucked. 700.
They're cooked, Jev.
That's so bad.
Let me get some odds for you.
Oh, so what were they doing?
So Sam Dobe
for 6.
Sam Dobe for 6 was $71. The Dobes will be eating well tonight.
Did you have Luke Darcy will, even though he's rich as fuck, they'll be having lobster, surf and turf, some ribeyes. They'll be eating well.
Heading down Jamara for 3. Jamara for 3 was $2.07, which is still good for a forward. Cody Waitman's for $2.55, which is good.
Jack McRae for 2.
Jev, he came on as the sub and he had 17 and 2. So he came on in the third quarter, had 7 and a goal, and then the last quarter had 10 and a goal.
He was playing like a man that wanted a spot in the side. He was getting selfish.
Did he what? Norton for 2. No, what are Ed Richards for 2?
Ed Richards for 2.
Ed Richards is, where is he? There he is, $4.50.
I'll tell you what North have to stop doing. Wasting Nick Larkey's prime.
Oh, it's fun.
He's only kicked 1 today. So he was All-Australian last year. He kicked 70 goals last year. He was awesome. He's 26 now, so he's 27 next year. You've got 3-4 years of him being at his apex. You've got to get him in the finals. You can't have him kicking 1 and lose by 100 points still at the age of 26. Fucking hell.
You can't.
Touches, Treloar did it again, 30. Fisher, 30. LDU, 30.
So for 30, there's not too much that really stands out here. So 30, Treloar, $1.55. Bont, did you say?
Nah, Fisher and LDU.
Fisher, $2.40. LDU, only $2.
What did Sam Darcy pay for 20 touches?
That's what we want. That's what we want to see. Sam Darcy, you could not get him. What about 15? $1.60 for 15. That's it.
$1.60, 15. So
$3.90 for 20.
$3.90 for 20. So what's basically $4 times $70? 280 to 1 for his game today. 6, 7 and 20. What a big day by Das. They're eating well. They are eating well. Good on them. So the Dogs are flying. They are. It's actually crazy. Oh, no, they're not. The Hawks aren't going to catch them on percentage. So it's going to be Dogs, Hawks, MCG first final. If you're the Hawks, what you don't want to see is 3 big forwards because you don't have 3 big key defenders.
No, Frosty's going to be having nightmares.
And then if you're the Dogs, the speed they put on the ball, Liam Jones doesn't want to, and Rory Love doesn't want to come in that quick with all those little smalls. Do they have enough small defenders like DeRay and stuff? That's going to be an awesome final.
That's the fans' final. That's the elimination one that everyone's tuning in.
I hope that's on the Saturday night. I hope that's Saturday night. But then again, Das, if the Blues get it done and the Dogs lose to GWS in Ballarat, all of a sudden it could be Carlton Hawthorn in the MCG. Dogs finish 8th.
Which would be awesome as well.
You would be terrified playing the Hawks again.
Oh, maybe it doesn't happen twice, Jeff. You never know.
Definitely
Maybe.
doesn't. You would have learned a lot. You could see. Oh, we'll get to Carlton when we get to him. There was a lot of different. Next game, the Hawks kicked the biggest score of the season in the first quarter, and this game had 130 points written all over it. So they kicked 9 goals, 3 in the first quarter. They were on fire. They were kicking them from everywhere. They've only won by 10 goals. Richmond actually played all right after that.
Yeah, when you can tell the sign of a good team, like when you're winning in like turnovers and transition in parts of the game, but when you can know pure dominance, when it's in the middle, when it's 4v4, the ball comes up, whether how good your ruckman is and how good your midfielder, and they were just walking it out.
Yeah.
Like when it's 4v4, it's like the Tigers have never practiced a centre stoppage before. And it's just day for the first bit, Newcomb, Warple, those guys just look so solid in their roles. Like they knew exactly where to get it, when to go forward, when to give handballs off. D'Ambrosio was really good. Weddle was he's like a horse, isn't he?
Yeah.
When he gets going, I'm not sure if it's the mullet as well, but he's sizey, he just looks like an athlete. Every time he sees someone like 5 meters ahead of him, he's like, I can just get to his outside shoulder and just beat him around the bend.
Quick.
Like I just know, okay, I reckon he'd be the best 200-meter runner.
He just goes.
He'd do that bend so well. Dylan Moore did we say that his stats were like? He's just like a 20-1, 20-2 player. That's what he had today.
Just gets it done again.
God, how good is Jack Gunston? He's like, I don't care if I'm playing in the twos or whether I'm playing here. I've won my flags and I'm happy to help out now.
He's just he's a role player and he's still a stud.
And unfortunately, the most annoyed man in Melbourne today, Jev, Luke Bruce. He had to come on too early.
About this, Das. He's the highest paid player in the competition.
Yes, he is.
For money earned, for work done. He's about 30 minutes a game, probably.
Can you imagine getting paid $550,000 to $600,000 a year, and you've got to come out and play 20 minutes? It's awesome.
He plays one quarter.
He looked like he just ate something from the canteen, and then Will Day went down, and he's like, "Fuck, I've got to go." He was
offering to give Will Day treatment on his shot. He was like, "I'll tape it up for you. I don't come on till 3/4 time."
No, you have to wait for the food to go down. Usually, he waits another hour till he goes back out. So
I saw him eating the chicken chips in the first quarter a couple of weeks ago at the Hawks game. He's the highest paid player in the league, Luke Bruce, for just the 30 minutes a week of work he does. If you went off paid per minute of play time, he's making a fortune. He's had to come on in the second quarter.
Filthy.
Fuck. So what's Will Day done? Broken his collarbone?
They think so. So they reckon that's 4 to 6.
Yeah,
which is shit.
Yeah, that's not good.
We fucking love watching it, but it was a whitewash. Yeah, as you said, they got out to 50 points and it pretty much stayed at 50 points. So the Tigers would kick some, then the Hawks, it was just so fast. Like they were happy to give up a couple. I don't think Sam Mitchell was, because when they looked in the box, he was filthy. But every time they went to go forward, they just looked so dangerous. And I keep saying it, as soon as Connor McDonald can finish, he's tackling today. He just gets to good spots. I fucking love him.
Yeah, Gunston was a multi-killer today.
Gunston was $15 for 5, Jev.
That's so nice. Cole should hear for 3. Morgs loved him for 2 at 2 to 1.
As he should. 5.10 for 3.
That's nice. Nick Watson, the whiz, for 3.
6.25. Had him for 4 and 5 as well. For 4 goals, he was $17. Bellied a couple, but
it's hard. So he only had 12 touches. We had him for 15 in the original 100K. Soon as we said it, Sportsbet took the market down basically.
Dogs.
So no one had it. So we had to put on a different 100K. He's only had his 12. So last week he had the 18 touches, no goals, all the goal assists. This week he's kicked the 3 and had the 12 touches. So maybe he played a bit closer to home where he got the matchup, or there were certain Tigers defenders that they liked keeping deep, maybe. I don't know. Shai Bolden, he's had a really good season, Shai Bolden, in a crappy side. He's kicked another 3. He cracks the shits a lot, but he's kicked 3.
He's a good player. $4.70 for the 3.
Warple for 2.
He's having a good... People forget he won a best and fairest in like his second year.
Yeah, he was like 19, wasn't he?
$12.50.
Noah Bolter for 2.
The bell on the ball. Noah Bolter. He must have been starting down back because you can't get him.
Dillmore, he was like $1.80. Ryan Mansell for 2.
The Mansell piece, $3.70. He's not bad, Jeff. I don't mind Ryan Mansell.
No, he's not bad. And then touches, Newcomb had 30.
What a pickup from Box Hill. How's when they played him and Sam Mitchell saw him, how they said don't play him anymore at Box Hill? So they were going to pick him up. They're like, other clubs will see it. They're like, just don't play him. They're like, hey, we're going to pick you up. Just don't play anymore.
We can't let you get on tape. What a midfielder. Some guy was DMing us or commenting on our stuff the other day how he's 500 to 1 for the Brownlow right now. Last year he polled like 18 votes, like got way more votes than he, probably should have. And he's probably got 6 the last 2 weeks. Is he worth maybe a top 3 or a top 5 finish? Like, I'll be interested to ask the Shark about how many votes he's got him on, what he's paying to finish top 5, and could he come from the clouds again? Because he does stand out. Like he's a good big body footballer.
Yeah, 100%.
And no one else really.
330 for 30.
And then that was it. Warple only had 29, so 25 for Warple.
Yeah, all the rest are pretty short. Let's not worry about the rest.
So the Hawks are flying. So they've got North next week. They're going to win. They're going to be playing finals. Good on them. And final game, arguably the best performance of the weekend. I was so impressed with the way Carlton played this game. And it made me realise how cheeks West Coast were. I was starting to believe in West Coast. I'm like, nah, they're good. McGovern, Mudflap, Oscar Allen, like they've got some talent out there. But Carlton just made them look a bit soft, really. You put it down to it's soft. I want to know, I reckon that Josh Weddle clip got played at Carlton training last week. We know they don't work too hard in the fourth and you can get them and stuff. And just how tough they were today and then how hard they were working. They were really streaming together as a team. They were so disciplined on not bombing it long to McGovern. They were always hitting up and just hitting different angles inside the forward 50. This was a super impressive performance by Carlton, who I'd written off. I thought West Coast was certainties, so...
Yeah, we definitely did it in a different way. At the start, we were going inside, we're bombing it in a little bit, but you could tell, guys, we've got a different sort of team in, and the wind was swirling as well, which helped us, but it's like we've got to win a different way, so we've got to go short. We've got to just try and be really grubby. Let's just try and get numbers to them. But I must say, for anyone that didn't watch it, or if you did watch it, if West Coast were any other side, they would have pushed us.
Yeah.
Like they had so many times where we kicked it in long and they dropped it. Yeah. And we just got lucky. We got numbers too. Like there was 30 times I could say whether they missed their hand, but like their disposal was putrid.
I reckon it felt a bit like one of those ones like you guys were playing really well. You were executing your game plan and then you'd look up and you're only like 3 goals up and you're like, God, we need more like score on the board, but the damn wall finally broke and you got him. You fucking got him. It was very impressive. So it gives you hope. So next week, do you get back Mackay? Do you get back Curnow? Do you know?
According to Kane Corns, you don't. You can't have these guys doing these calves and hamstrings and quads and only miss 1 week. You can't. He reckons Carlton's medical team need to get fined for putting out wrong reports on players. So I honestly have no idea who we're getting back. But it was definitely a side that had to win. Jackson Binns, technically his first full game, had a crack.
Ashton Moyer came on, kicked a snag.
Ashton Moyer off his opposite foot.
Cooper Lord kicked a point, 15 touches. I swear he's a local. He's locally around here, I think.
I think so. But he had a crack. He had a real go. No, I was just really happy to get out almost alive. Although apparently they reckon Zach Williams did a hammy, but they reckon it might just be a cramp. So if we've got another injury, Durden done his shoulder, he'll be out. We're literally crawling to the finish line. We're the banged up Blues. That's what we are. Brody Kemp got out muscled the first 2 contests up forward, and I messaged our Blues group chat. I'm like, he can't even win a contest up forward, then kick 4.
He actually played really well.
So he had his first set shot with about, I think maybe on the quarter time siren, and he had to kick it. He kicked it. Confidence was there. I'm like, perfect. This is exactly what we need. And then we just had to rely on our best small forward, which was Matt Owies.
Yeah.
Kicked 3 goals, did really well. Kennedy competed. But yeah, as you said, we just did everything we could not to let McGovern impact. And then Waterman got off the chain early. And I thought the way that Cowan was able to slide back with Wiedering and help out 2-on-1s against Oscar Allen. Oscar Allen didn't have an influence. He had a shot on goal, then kicked a point. Yep. That's about it. Wiedering played really, really well. So happy with him.
Wiedering was great. When I had Mudflap for 5 on Sportsbet, gave me another odds boost. When he had 2 at quarter time, I'm like, He's in for 8 today. Like,
Mm.
I thought they're not going to be able to stop him. But you just got your game plan rolling, whatever you spoke about. Vossi would be wrapped with that win. Like, happy flight home. You're giving yourselves a chance. You kept Mudflap and Oscar on super quiet.
I think, like, as I said, at the moment, especially with our team, you've got to have form coming into finals. Like, I don't think that we can win the flag. Mind you, anything could happen at this point of the year. But I think as a pass mark, you have to be fighting to make finals. If you bomb out first final, that's fine. But, like, we just got to get used to being a side that we just make finals now. It's been so long since we've made it. It's like the Bombers haven't won a final in how long? But you just got to get yourself there. Continually get yourself there. It'd be really good for the group. It's like, look, we've had a shocking, like, we've only won 2 games in our last 7 or 8, and it's against North and West Coast.
Yeah.
Which is horrible. Yeah. So, but it's like at least getting to a final. And imagine you pinch a final. Imagine it's against Hawthorn and they end up getting banged up next week. It's like, well, we've won a final. Like, it's still not a bad year.
You think, like, I know I'm a fucking Swan supporter, but it's a shock when the Swans and the Cats miss the finals. Like, they just make it every single year, and they have forever. We do it every year. So, like, you just want to be that team that makes it every single year from now on. You got some odds for me?
Yeah, Cripps has like loaded up the Brownlow. They try to tag him everywhere. Me and you said before we started recording, Harley Reid, he got pushed into a few contests and Cripps just wasn't having it. And there's that one bit that they'll look back on the tape where, he drove into Cripps's back and Harley Reid was too busy doing his headband and Cripps just ran forward and got a beautiful inside 50. Yep. And it's just like...
I want to speak to, next time we speak to Will Schofield, I want to speak to him about that exact incident. As you said, Harley Reid threw Cripps to the ground. Cripps didn't win. She just got up and started running. He got the next handball. He got an inside 50 calm kick to goal. You saw the camera in the back and Harley Reid just laid there and, fixed his headband and his hair. I'm like, I want to know, do the West Coast senior players show that clip and put a rocket up his ass and go, what the fuck is this? Or do you just let Harley be Harley sort of thing?
Yeah, well, as we said, you'd rather a player be a little bit more on the edge than as someone that's soft and you got to stick a rocket up their ass. Like a Max King. Like, you can always sort of temper that. At least he's got that edge that he can go through. But Cripps 35 touches was fucking
3
awesome.
Brownlow votes. Did he just locked up his second Brownlow medal, I think, Das?
I think so. $4.60. Kennedy, did he, or was it Hewitt that had
Hewitt 35? Had 35 as well.
Hewitt was $16.
$16. Harley Reid had 25.
Yes, he did. He did well. Harley Reid, $5.80.
What about those couple of shots Harley Reid was having? They were all from like 50 plus out. When will he get a touch of class and start giving them off and lowering his eyes a little? Like, obviously he loves kicking the big goal in front of the home crowd and everything. And he should. He's a star. He's good enough to kick him. But... So there was the first one after halftime. He got that first centre clearance, broke away, had the shot missed. I was fine with him having that shot. Then there was a couple from later, from 60 and stuff. And even Matt Pavlich was like, a couple of the forwards are giving him a bit of a stink eye. Like, he shouldn't be having a shot from 60 there. Like, look for your forward sort of thing. So he's got to learn that he's not, like, it's not junior footy anymore and he's the best player unless he has 40 and kicks 4, they win. Like, he's got A-grade teammates around him. He's got to learn to just trust them a bit more.
Yeah, use them a little bit. I think he might be getting addicted to the limelight.
It's not
like when you open up and you see the open doors, you're like, fuck it.
When you're wearing number 9 for West Coast and you're that famous, you're probably right. He's had 25 though. He played all right. He's had a good season for a first year. But he hasn't kicked a goal in 8 weeks.
No, he hasn't. Goals, Brody Kemp. Fuck, you couldn't even get him.
Yeah, could you not get him for any?
Kemp. Nah. That's so annoying. Matt Owies for 3. 6.25. That's not bad by the boy.
Yeah, it's nice.
All the rest are pretty short, but that doesn't matter. So the Blues won. Blues won in a big win. So let's just look at next week. So you know what we missed the trick on and we don't do? We really need to do a footy tipping, Jev.
Yeah.
When you try and take the odds out of it, you know what's fucked? If you're a good tipper, you don't know anything about football. That's my take. Because if you can tip this year, you're a genius. Like, you just don't. Like, some of the games this year, like, as you said, like Brisbane had to win, lock. Like,
yeah.
and they just lose. It's like,
I'm just
unless
looking.
you're a
I would have got
Collingwood supporter.
5. If I tipped this, I would have got 5. So I would have tipped the Swans. I would have tipped the Suns. I would have got that one wrong. I would have tipped the Giants. So I got that right. I would have had the Lions locked in permanent marker wrong.
Yep.
Probably would have taken Port. I would have taken
Port.
the Geelong for sure.
Yep, Cats.
Dogs we all would have taken. Hawks we would have taken. And I would have taken the Eagles. You would have taken the Blues. So you would have got 6.
It's still fucked. All right, so let's go Friday night.
So
Melbourne
Collingwood can't make the finals anymore.
Done?
They're on 48 with the worst percentage. Like Carlton, Hawks, Dogs are all 10% ahead of them. So they can't make it. You'd have to lose by 100 points. They'd have to win by 100 points to make 10%.
So fuck it. We'll just go.
So they'll want to. So technically, when they have a win at the end of Friday night, there is a chance they can be in there, but they're not going to make finals. Basically,
you played out. Nick Dacos tries to win a Brownlow.
Exactly.
He goes hard.
It'll all be about trying to get Nick Dacos 3 votes, and I hope Alex Neil-Bullen goes to him.
So let's go Nick Dacos for like 30.
Yep.
And a goal for the Brownlow.
Yeah, he'll be on Brownlow watch. Maybe 2, maybe 3. They'll give him the Brownlow treatment.
Geelong win.
So just handle your business. No injuries. Finish 4th. Swans first final. They'll just win.
Do we tip Richmond in this one?
Oh, fuck. I got no idea.
Just for some value?
Nah, the Suns have to stand for something.
They can't win 2 roadies in a year.
They can. They have to go and win this game, the Suns. They're 14th right now.
Yeah, they're so bad. Fuck it. I'm taking the Tigers. Hawks North. Hawks just have to win to...
Tassie. Hawks will get it done. North will be checked out. But this game last year, remember the Harley Reid Cup? Larky kicked 7. Can you see North with one last fire in their belly? I can't. Hawks are too good.
No. Yeah, Hawks are too good. Brisbane, Essendon.
Brisbane just have to win. They will.
Can they miss the 8?
What are they on? 54. Yep. They certainly can. Oh, no. Freo's percentage isn't good enough. If they lost Freo 1 and Dogs, Hawks, Carlton all 1, there's a percentage way they can, but they won't. They could finish 8th if they lose.
So if they lose, if Carlton win,
yeah,
fuck, it could be Hawks, Brisbane.
Yeah, for sure.
Hawks, Brisbane, Western Bulldogs, Carlton.
For sure.
That's fucked.
It's fucked.
Yeah.
So, and then Swans, Adelaide, it's a bit of a dead rubber. Like, that's one you nearly tip the Crows, man.
Adelaide. Yeah, do you tip Adelaide just because it's like you guys might rest players?
Yeah, you take the 322 for Adelaide. You think they'll rock up with their fittest team. Like, Isaac Ranger won't play because he was knocked out, but Thilthorpe, Fogarty, all these guys will come. I'm pretty sure Brody Grundy won't play, so Peter Laddams will. Heaney won't play. We'll bring that Angus Sheldrick up from the 2s. We might rest Tom McCartan.
Here's $1.90 for you. Adelaide plus 20.5.
Gobble it up. We're top 2 no matter what.
Yep. So take that. And now the Sunday slate is where it gets naughty.
So I've got no idea. So
if we don't go to the game, we should go to a pub somewhere just so we can get back in time to do the roast.
Great call.
Maybe we just have
let's go to a pub at 12:30 on Sunday and watch this whole Sunday slate.
Dogs, Giants.
Giants. So Giants have to win to finish top 2 and Port Adelaide come to GWS.
Have a guess what you can probably see the odds there, can't you?
Yeah, $2.72 the Giants are. Why? They won there last year.
Why are they $2.72?
Jesse Hogan's in as good a form as any player in the comp.
I'm taking Adelaide at the line right now.
What's the line of Giants?
14.5.
Take that. At Ballarat, it's low scoring.
We're taking Adelaide and then we're taking the Giants. Yep.
Because either way, the Dogs are playing, they're finishing. I'm pretty sure they can't make the 8. Oh, they can if the Cats lose. But either way, they're finishing 5th or 6th, basically, with their percentage.
And they haven't been travelling well. Their 2 Adelaide games scare me.
Yeah, so true. Carlton St Kilda, under the lid. Carlton $1.80, Saints $2.
We're into favourites now. We weren't favourite before the West Coast game.
Really?
No.
So you're favourites. So you win, you're in. You lose, and so you can still lose and be in. But then it's
Port win.
Freo, Port Adelaide. This game's fucked as well. Do Freo take a massive squad, and if GWS win, they just rest a couple of guys that are banged up? What's the percentage
Did Port Adelaide
difference?
take a big squad, you mean?
They take like a heap of emergencies and everything. And if GWS win earlier in the day, they pull a couple of guys and rest a couple of guys. Or if GWS lose, they're finishing second no matter what, so they rest guys anyway. Look at it, they're both on 60 points. Freo, Port Adelaide have a better percentage. So if the Giants lose early in the day, it means nothing to Port Adelaide. So really, Freo want the Dogs to win that game. Freo want the Dogs to win, the Giants to lose. So then the Giants are just finishing third no matter what. Port are finishing second. Then Port might rest heap of guys. Freo just win that game to make the 8 and knock Carlton out.
I want the Giants to win.
You need the Giants to win.
So then
Port have to win. For a home final. Yeah. That's fucking awesome. That Sunday is going to be awesome. We are going to a pub. Can someone comment, where's the best pub in Melbourne to watch a full day of footy?
It's probably the DI, to be fair.
We're going to the DI. We're going to the Dingley, but...
we're close to prelim weekend.
Yeah, we better book our tail at DI. It's pretty busy prelim weekend.
It gets busy down there.
That might be my local footy grand final. But fuck, I might not get a game, so we'll see.
You'll be right. You had a good win on the weekend, didn't you, Jeff?
Good win on the weekend, yeah. All right. Good roast, Dave. I'm so excited about next weekend.
I'm going to chuck on first crack in a minute. When
do we start eating wax so we're ready for these hot chips? How many we got? I don't want to know.
Remember after we did it remember we did it at the Super Bowl and I probably had 8 chips and I was fucked.
Yeah, you were.
Like I was hurting. Remember?
Oh, they're going to be so hot.
I was like throwing up. I had like the milk coming out my nose. My eyes were swollen.
So it's only the legs. I know we gave out the second 100K multi because you couldn't get Nick Watson 15, but it's only the legs me and Morgs gave out in the show. Our 25 legger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 chips. Mac Andrew, Brisbane, Bobby Hill. Colby McKercher had 24 out of 25.
Yeah.
Tristan Zeri, 17 out of 20. Bont didn't kick a goal. Watson, 12. Weddle only had 13 out of 15. Marby Chol kick 1. Guinea didn't kick a goal. Oscar Allen didn't kick a goal. Fuck. We're not going to be able to eat 11 chips. And that gummy bear. Oh, my God.
You're eating the gummy bear.
Oh, no. I'm eating the gummy bear. What about the one you and Morgs gave out? 1, 2, 3,
9.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right. We might have to meet in the middle of 10.
You got to eat your gummy bear right before the joke. So I do the intro. You put it in.
I'll just say the joke is me.
We have to dress up.
Fuck.
It's like the more chilies guy.
More chilies. Fuck. Oh, well.
We won't be able to do the pod. It'll be horrendous.
Yeah. Fuck. I don't know what we're going to do.
No, it'll be right.
There's no way I can do the gummy in 10 chips. I'm going to be on fire. Oh, it's going to be a good viewing for people that don't like me, which is half of Australia with the shit I've been putting out.
It's good. Good stuff.
All right.
Good roast. Enjoy your night.
Good roast.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.